Hello and welcome to the unboxing of the 20th anniversary remix of Rapture of the Deep. This just arrived. It's been a long day, work, and then after work, had some beers, and here it is, the parcel arrived late. But I noticed that I ordered this online and it arrived. The seams had split. Now I don't know, perhaps somebody sliced it open and ripped it. Maybe that's what happened. But yeah, so what I'm going to do is open this up and then I will go and listen to it and I will compare it to, I have an original 2005 pressing of the record, and it never sounded great. I'm going to get right to the chase though. Okay, so not having to cut the vinyl, the wrapper is pretty sweet. Well, maybe I will anyway, because it's a bit of a pain. Let's tear this open here. I gotta save that hype sticker though. Gotta save that. Okay, so let's open up the Gatefold. It's really nice texture versus the old cover too. It's been colored nicely, and it's looking great. Lots to read. An essay by Jeff Barton, of course. Classic writer. Let's pull out the first side. This is Ear Music. And I gotta say, Ear Music has done absolutely great by Deep Purple. They've been a great partnership for them. I've been a fan of the band since, well, I got into them in 1986. I was about 13, and but I've never seen them as well appreciated as they have been with Ear Music. So there's the first record. It's 45 RPM, and then this side has the other two discs. The album proper, and then the extra bits. Perfect. So we've opened this up. On the back, you can see the album, A, B, C, and D. Oh, there's so many good songs in this. I'll get into all these songs when I discuss the remix, because I think this is the album that sort of set the band on the direction that they have gone down for the last 20 years. It was an underrated album from the beginning. Made in Germany, 2025. Chunky Style Studios, Michael Bradford. Yeah, this is nice stuff. This is good quality stuff. It just feels nice. Let's take a look at the vinyl. I will definitely be putting these in polyline sleeves, but it's a nice clean pressing. Money Talks. I love that crazy, gritty organ sound at the beginning. Nice and flat. This is an awkward angle to be filming from. I mean, it is top down, but I think when I do the comparison of the two albums, I might have a camera facing forward, so it's a little variety. There we go. This is nice. It is 45 RPM. Nice and flat. And I think Ear Music has their own plant. And these are the bonus songs. So this is great. I'm so thrilled about this because I love this album, but I think it's pretty well known that the mastering was pretty shitty on it. The compression was just over the top, to say the least. And the little bits that I've heard so far online, I have so many things to say, but I want to go hear this right now on my system. Okay, so I just had a listen to the new remix of Rapture, and oh boy, there's so much to say, but I do have to try to keep this video brief. I can ramble at times. If I had to sum it up in one word, the difference between the two versions, the original mix and the new mix, is space. I think that's what it is. The first thing that hit me was that the power of the band is present in this remix. The depth of the sound, which had been compressed out of the music before, is now there for all to hear. The drums are more alive. There's more separation between the instruments. I did notice that some of the harmonies, vocal harmonies, were dialed back a bit, and even some instrumentation was dialed back in some. It sounds like it's been dialed back, and so I'm hearing things that I hadn't heard before, and I'm very familiar with this record. And overall, it's just less. It's a less fatiguing listen. I love it. So let's just take a closer look at some of the songs. If you could see that. Yeah, so Money Talks is great, as always. I'll just jump around to the ones that stood out the most to me. Well, first off, Seeing Things I Never Said on the album proper is excellent. And I just love Roger Glover's bass. There's a little run there, and it's just so distorted, and it's great to hear it. Rapture of the Deep, of course, another great song. I think the one that really stood out the most to me, though, was Kiss Tomorrow Goodbye. One of the other big improvements on the album, because of, it seems to me like the compression is gone, is that the drums really ring. And it sounds so nice. Like it sounds like you're in the room listening to him play, especially on Kiss Tomorrow Goodbye. I love that song. And for a variety of reasons, I just love the entire album. Probably one minor quibble, if I had to pick one on the entire record, was still in Before Time Began. I find the snare still a little too muted for me. I mean, mind you, it could be my old ears starting to lose the high frequency, but the snare could be a little crispier for me. And the bonus LP, the studio jams and rehearsals are great. MTV, Money Talks, back to back. And Before Time Began, which of course is great, different drum pattern on there, which is interesting. And Closing Note is just it's a beautiful folk bit that Steve Morse plays, and it's just fantastic stuff. I highly recommend this. This is great stuff. Speaking more broadly, I think of Rapture of the Deep. It was such an important album from my perspective for the band to make, because, of course, it's been well documented now that they didn't have a record deal at that time. They had been dropped by EMI, and it does, to me, sound like... I know a lot of people like Bananas. I never really... Well, I did at the time, but in retrospect, it's a little Purple by Numbers at the time, I think. This is really the band saying, fuck it, we gave the industry what it wanted, and now we're going to do what we want. I think the album is only let down by a couple of songs. I think I like, now that we have Things I Never Said in here, it would be I think, a stronger album if it had at the time been released with Things I Never Said and MTV back to back and Girls Like That weren't on there. Those would be good studio outtakes. And then you just had the rest of the album. Everything else on there is excellent, excellent stuff. And I mean, those are MTV's a fun, like the studio jam is great. I have a whole new appreciation for it. I just, with the vocals, like there's been recent interviews with Ian Gillan where he said with Simon McBride, he found at least the Equals one easier to figure out parts to sing over because, well, he leaves parts from a songwriter perspective, singer-songwriter perspective, versus just straight ahead music. And so I find MTV works better as an instrumental. But yeah, I overall, I think if they had at the time not had those 3 songs, it would still have been, 9 tracks. That's still a substantial listen. But yeah, the quality is so nice. And again, I do have to just mention how, what a great job, what a great collaboration Ear Music and Deep Purple have had over the last, 20 years, at this point, 8 old at the parent company. It's just great. Yeah, so if you've been wondering if you have the original mix and you're wondering if you should pick up the new one, absolutely. And let's face it, casual Deep Purple fans probably wouldn't have Rapture of the Deep. So if you have Rapture of the Deep, you're more than likely going to pick up the remix. And if you're a fan who's only discovered them since now, in the last 10, 15 years, you should definitely pick this up because this record really did change the direction that the band was going in at the time. And everything they've done since has been different from this, but it's also built upon the direction that this album set. So I hope you enjoyed this. Just a quick take, and get out and listen to the remix of Rapture of the Deep.